Good afternoon. Ralph E. Hartman, write-in candidate for Congress here on the Beneva roadside again. Just finished lunch here a little while ago, and a pretty lady who portrays herself as being official in some way got into south of here traffic sound, actually asking that I mention something pertaining to the entertainer Katy Perry. Well, I feel kind of ridiculous about it. I've never been popular or involved with any entertainment or whatever. But there was a progression through years that partly continues. And I was reminded of a a brief report I'd sent some years ago. Again, it seems really ridiculous, but I really sent a number of concern reports because what happened was on some nights when I would nicely view videos of Katy Perry performing in particular, never happened with anyone else. There would be some affectations at the left side of her face and the left side of the corner of her eye, uh, live, suddenly happening uh, from the accusation, that I discussed about before, the 1981 Orlando malpractice accusation. It never happened to anyone else. But I'd be nicely watching the show. Somehow, affectation looks like it hits at her face, changes her face, part of her face green. And I really got worried about it because through years I've been trying to get response against the terrible malpractice that has been so crippling and even tries to be nationally divisive, even though I didn't have any kind of official position about anything. And I had made this other brief that I sent. I forget what year now, but it's in the description. I'm going to attach to this because there was one instance, again, very vivid, when I watched the show, nicely watching a show, liking it, however she is in real life. The performing, the shows that she put on that I like, the particular items that I like, are very beautiful and exciting. So anyway, I was startled and worried when again a formulation somehow hit at the outer corner of my left eye, vividly visible, and it looked like the face of someone, and then zoomed through the screen. There must be some kind of energy involved, and went through the screen to cause a momentary decapitation of Katy Perry in a particular Christmas show that I was watching. It's obvious that it's just like a recording. The lady continues safely. It isn't a live scene. It wasn't an actual instance. It was a momentary scene, but it shows hostility that lingers from a gay-oriented accusation that started secretly way back in early 1980, in the summer of '81, when I was 25, and it's really worrisome. So anyway, I went ahead and sent the brief report describing exactly as I could. And then years passed, and I've had that draft on file because I'm not sure about mentioning names in these kind of videos, because it goes onto YouTube. I don't know what kind of views there really are. If it's true that the only time there's any viewing is if it's listed on the meter of my on my account page. But I kept the draft. I had separated it from other reports with the idea of maybe putting it online. And the woman's request of a little while ago just reminded me about it. And coincidentally, what happened is this morning I was preparing to check out of my room in the sleep in near University Boulevard, University Parkway, and usual participants in the endless harassing that still afflicts at me was breaking in through air conditioning, whatever, to disrupt against me for a couple of hours before. One of them alleged being the man named Larry Gardner. And another one, an old gay who likes to have a kind of a shrill, constant tone as though stressed, you know, was saying that would still want me to, in some way, want me to be a bunkmate of the guy named Gardner, from way back when we were kids. And so I'm thinking, am I really hearing the creepy old Albert Hartman who faked his death when I was an 11-year-old? You know, another of them, again, the old stepfather, even though he's 100 years old, again got with the intruding. And one of them says that he would want me to go out to walk into the arms, march into the arms of another kid who was a kid back in the 60s named Russell Sklenka. You know, I haven't known them since elementary school. You know, I didn't know anything about how they were going to turn out back then. I haven't known them at all since. But they're empowered by some kind of a corruption. And as I walked away from the hotel, uh, uh, a man along the way, a Hispanic man working grounds work somewhere along the way, said that had been made aware, and that I was again hearing from men who had made a pact with each other because that they all got behaved because of their behavior with each other in Miami. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention the matter. You know, I think if anyone who has visited any of these particular reports knows that I am burdened by a lot of very serious kind of subject matter, but opposition that disrupts about everything, and always opposes there being any indications of pretty ladies in my life. Again, wanted to revert back to like ignoring all of the subjects, being part of the threats in order to go back to trying to fulfill their adult, secretly gay expectations from when I was a kid. So anyway, I'm going to continue with this beleaguered candidacy, and I just hope people understand that whatever is said, that most all of the opposition pivots on the 1981 stain accusation in Orlando. Even Momentary stands for that. Everything else is basically subordinated to the stain accusation, and also going back to childhood pertaining to the secret orientation of Albert Hart. So anyway, with that in mind, I'm going to conclude this and hope that there continues to be the fair consideration. You know, the disruption has forced me to be physically alone through every day and night of my life through more than 37 years. 37 years of being physically alone. You know, I've always been normal orientation. In any circumstance, I wouldn't have turned to wanting to do anything with men. I remain loyal to the nice ladies, and I never think of hurting any of them. And I hope all will continue being safe. Have a good day, and thanks for your consideration.